Have you ever wondered why your legs feel like they're betraying you, even when you're doing everything the doctors tell you to do? Why does that familiar burning sensation creep up your thighs when you're simply trying to enjoy a peaceful walk around the neighborhood? Why do your knees feel like rusty hinges every morning, making those first few steps out of bed feel like an uphill battle? If you're over 55 and experiencing these frustrating symptoms, you're definitely not alone in this struggle. Millions of mature adults across America are facing the same bewildering reality. Despite eating what they believe are healthy foods, staying as active as possible, and following medical advice, their leg strength continues to diminish. Their joint pain intensifies, and their mobility becomes increasingly limited with each passing month. Here's what might shock you about this epidemic of leg weakness among seniors. Sometimes the problem isn't what you're not eating or not doing for your health. Sometimes the culprit is hiding in plain sight, disguised as something beneficial, something you've been consuming faithfully because you were told it was good for you. The truth that most healthcare providers don't discuss, and that food companies certainly don't want you to discover, is that certain everyday foods, particularly some fruits that are marketed as nutritious superfoods, can actually be working against your leg strength, contributing to chronic inflammation in your joints and making every step you take more painful than it needs to be. The reality is that as we mature beyond our 50s, our bodies undergo significant metabolic changes that most people don't fully understand. Our digestive systems become more sensitive, our blood sugar regulation becomes less efficient, and foods that served us well in our younger years can now become sources of inflammation and discomfort. This is particularly true when it comes to certain fruits that are loaded with natural sugars, acids, and compounds that can trigger inflammatory responses in aging joints and muscles. These seemingly innocent foods can cause blood sugar spikes that damage the delicate blood vessels responsible for nourishing your leg muscles, leading to reduced oxygen flow, increased stiffness, and that heavy, dragging sensation that makes even short walks feel exhausting. What makes this situation particularly insidious is that the damage happens gradually, almost imperceptibly. You don't immediately feel pain after eating these problematic fruits. Instead, the negative effects accumulate over weeks, months, and years. You might notice that your morning stiffness lasts a bit longer than usual, or that climbing stairs leaves you more winded than before, or that your ankles seem to swell more frequently in the evenings. These subtle changes are often dismissed as normal signs of aging, when in reality, they could be your body's way of telling you that certain foods are working against your mobility and comfort. The most frustrating aspect of this hidden health challenge is that many people over 55 are unknowingly sabotaging their own efforts to maintain strong, pain-free legs. They're diligently eating what they believe are healthy, natural foods, following dietary guidelines that may have been appropriate for younger individuals but are actually contributing to their declining mobility. They're experiencing increased joint inflammation, reduced circulation to their extremities, and progressive muscle weakness, all while thinking they're making smart nutritional choices. Consider this scenario that plays out in households across the country every single day. A health-conscious individual in their 60s starts their morning with a glass of fresh fruit juice, snacks on supposedly healthy fruits throughout the day, and wonders why their legs feel heavier by evening. They might experience persistent aching in their calves, unexplained swelling around their ankles, or a general feeling of weakness that makes them hesitant to take longer walks or engage in activities they once enjoyed. The connection between their fruit consumption and their leg discomfort never occurs to them because they've been conditioned to believe that all fruits are automatically beneficial for their health. The truth is that certain fruits can cause rapid spikes in blood glucose levels, which in turn trigger inflammatory responses throughout the body. For individuals over 55, whose metabolisms have naturally slowed and whose insulin sensitivity may be compromised. These blood sugar fluctuations can be particularly damaging to the small blood vessels that supply oxygen and nutrients to leg muscles and joints. When these vessels are repeatedly stressed by glucose spikes, they become less efficient at delivering what your legs need to stay strong and flexible. Additionally, some fruits contain high levels of natural acids that can exacerbate existing joint inflammation, particularly in individuals who already have some degree of arthritis or joint sensitivity. These acids can irritate the delicate tissues surrounding your knees, hips, and ankles, leading to increased stiffness, reduced range of motion, and persistent discomfort that makes every movement feel more challenging than it should. The fructose content in many popular fruits presents another significant concern for mature adults struggling with leg strength and mobility. Unlike glucose, which can be metabolized by cells throughout the body, fructose must be processed primarily by the liver. When consumed in large quantities, which is easy to do with sweet, delicious fruits, fructose can overwhelm the liver's processing capacity, leading to the production of uric acid. This uric acid tends to accumulate in joints, particularly in the lower extremities, causing inflammation, pain, and stiffness that can make walking, climbing stairs, or even standing for extended periods extremely uncomfortable. What's particularly concerning is that many individuals over 55 are consuming these problematic fruits in quantities that would have been easily tolerated in their younger years, not realizing that their body's ability to process natural sugars and acids has diminished with age. They might eat multiple servings of fruit per day, thinking they're boosting their vitamin intake and supporting their overall health, when in reality they're creating a perfect storm of inflammation and metabolic stress that directly impacts their leg strength and mobility. The good news is that once you understand which specific fruits are most likely to contribute to leg weakness and joint pain in mature adults, you can make informed decisions about your diet that will support rather than undermine your mobility goals. The key is recognizing that not all natural foods are automatically beneficial for every individual at every stage of life, and that making strategic adjustments to your fruit consumption can have a profound impact on how your legs feel and function. On a daily basis, let's begin our exploration of problematic fruits with one that might surprise you, the seemingly innocent and universally beloved apple. Now, before you dismiss this as impossible, consider that green apples, which are often promoted as the healthier choice due to their lower sugar content and tart flavor, can actually be particularly troublesome for individuals over 55 who are struggling with leg pain and mobility issues. The culprit here is malic acid, the compound responsible for that distinctive sour taste that makes green apples so refreshing. While malic acid isn't inherently harmful, it can become problematic for mature adults whose digestive systems have become more sensitive over the years and whose joints may already be dealing with low-level inflammation. When you consume green apples regularly, especially on an empty stomach or as a frequent snack, the malic acid can irritate your digestive tract and potentially contribute to systemic inflammation throughout your body. This inflammation doesn't stay localized. It travels through your bloodstream and can settle in your joints, particularly in weight-bearing areas like your knees, hips, and ankles. Many individuals over 55 report experiencing increased stiffness in their legs, particularly in the morning or after periods of inactivity, without realizing that their daily apple consumption might be contributing to this discomfort. The inflammation can also affect the soft tissues surrounding your joints, leading to that persistent aching sensation that makes every step feel more laborious than it should. Moreover, despite being less sweet than their red counterparts, green Apples still contain natural sugars that can cause blood glucose fluctuations in individuals with slower metabolisms. These blood sugar swings can trigger inflammatory responses and contribute to the development of insulin resistance, which further complicates your body's ability to manage inflammation effectively. Some mature adults find that consuming green apples in the evening leads to restless nights, leg cramps, or morning stiffness that takes longer to resolve than usual. Moving on to another fruit that's often considered a healthy choice, the refreshing and hydrating cantaloupe. This sweet, orange-fleshed melon is frequently recommended for its high water content and vitamin A, but for individuals over 55 dealing with leg weakness and joint pain, cantaloupe can be more problematic than beneficial. The primary concern with cantaloupe is its extremely high glycemic index, which means it causes rapid and significant spikes in blood sugar levels. While younger individuals with efficient metabolisms can typically handle these glucose surges without issue, mature adults often struggle to process these sudden influxes of sugar effectively. When your blood sugar spikes rapidly after consuming cantaloupe, your body responds by releasing large amounts of insulin to try to bring glucose levels back to normal. However, this process becomes less efficient as we age, and the resulting inflammatory response can be particularly damaging to the delicate blood vessels that supply your leg muscles with oxygen and nutrients. Over time, this repeated stress on your circulatory system can lead to reduced blood flow to your extremities, contributing to that heavy, tired feeling in your legs that makes walking feel like you're trudging through mud. Additionally, cantaloupe's high water content might seem beneficial for hydration, but it can actually contribute to fluid retention in individuals who already struggle with circulation issues. This excess fluid tends to accumulate in the lower extremities, leading to swelling around the ankles and calves that can make your legs feel uncomfortable and restrict your range of motion. Many mature adults notice that their shoes feel tighter in the evening or that their legs appear more swollen after days when they've consumed significant amounts of cantaloupe or other high-water, high-sugar fruits. Perhaps one of the most surprising fruits on our list is the exotic and nutritious kiwi. This small, fuzzy fruit is packed with vitamin C and has gained popularity as a superfood in recent years. But for individuals over 55 experiencing leg pain and mobility issues, kiwi can be particularly problematic due to its unique combination of natural acids and enzymes. Kiwi contains several organic acids, including citric acid and quinic acid, which can contribute to systemic inflammation when consumed regularly by individuals with sensitive digestive systems or existing joint issues. The enzymes in kiwi, particularly actinidin, can also be problematic for some mature adults. While these enzymes are touted for their digestive benefits, they can actually cause irritation in individuals with sensitive stomachs or compromised digestive function, leading to inflammatory responses that extend beyond the digestive tract. This systemic inflammation can settle in the joints and soft tissues of the legs, contributing to increased stiffness, pain, and reduced mobility. Furthermore, kiwi's relatively high sugar content, combined with its acidic nature, can create the perfect environment for blood sugar fluctuations followed by inflammatory responses. Many individuals over 55 report experiencing increased joint sensitivity, particularly in their knees and ankles, after consuming kiwi regularly. The fruit's small size makes it easy to consume multiple servings without realizing the cumulative impact on blood sugar and inflammation levels. Before we continue with more fruits that could be impacting your leg health, I want to take a moment to connect with you personally. If you've been experiencing any of the symptoms I've described, that persistent aching in your calves, morning stiffness that seems to last longer each day, or that heavy feeling in your legs that makes activities you once enjoyed feel like major undertakings. I want you to know that you're not imagining these changes, and more importantly, you're not powerless to address them. Your body is trying to communicate with you, and by understanding which foods might be contributing to your discomfort, you're taking the first step toward reclaiming your mobility and comfort. I'm curious about your experience with the fruits we've discussed so far. Have you noticed any patterns between your fruit consumption and how your legs feel? Maybe you've had particularly stiff mornings after enjoying a large fruit salad the night before, or perhaps you've experienced increased swelling in your ankles during periods when you've been trying to eat more healthy fruits. Your observations and experiences are incredibly valuable, not just for your own health journey, but for others in our community who might be struggling with similar challenges. Take a moment right now to think about your own patterns. Have you noticed any connections between certain fruits and how your legs feel the next day? Drop a comment below and share what you've noticed. Your insight could be the key that helps someone else solve their own puzzle of unexplained leg discomfort. And if you're finding this information helpful and eye-opening, make sure you subscribe to our channel, because we're committed to bringing you the kind of practical, science-based information that can make a real difference in your daily comfort and mobility. Let's continue our discussion with another fruit that might shock you, the beloved and supposedly heart-healthy strawberry. These bright red berries are often celebrated for their antioxidant content and are frequently included in diets designed to reduce inflammation, but for individuals over 55 struggling with leg pain and mobility issues, strawberries can actually contribute to the very problems they're meant to solve. The primary concern with strawberries lies in their natural salicylate content, which are compounds similar to aspirin that can cause inflammatory reactions in sensitive individuals, particularly those whose digestive systems have become more reactive with age. Many mature adults develop increased sensitivity to salicylates without realizing it, and consuming strawberries regularly can trigger inflammatory responses that manifest as joint pain, muscle aches, and increased stiffness in the legs. Additionally, strawberries are surprisingly high in natural sugars, and their small size makes it incredibly easy to consume large quantities without realizing the cumulative impact on blood sugar levels. A typical serving of strawberries can contain as much sugar as some candies, and when consumed by individuals with slower metabolisms and compromised insulin sensitivity, this sugar load can trigger inflammatory cascades that directly affect leg strength and mobility. The oxalates present in strawberries present another concern for mature adults dealing with joint pain. These naturally occurring compounds can contribute to the formation of crystals in joints, particularly in individuals who already have some degree of arthritis or joint inflammation. These crystals can cause sharp shooting pains in the knees, ankles, and feet, and can make weight-bearing activities increasingly uncomfortable. Many individuals over 55 report experiencing increased joint sensitivity and stiffness after consuming strawberries regularly, particularly when eaten fresh or in large quantities as part of smoothies or desserts. Moving on to another seemingly innocent fruit, the tropical papaya. While papaya is often recommended for its digestive enzymes and anti-inflammatory properties, it can be particularly problematic for mature adults dealing with leg weakness and joint pain. The enzyme papain, which gives papaya its reputation as a digestive aid, can actually cause inflammatory reactions in individuals with sensitive digestive systems or compromised gut health. This inflammation doesn't stay localized in the digestive tract. It can trigger systemic inflammatory responses that affect joints and muscles throughout the body, particularly in the legs, where circulation may already be compromised. Papayas, Extremely high sugar content is another significant concern for individuals over 55. The fruit's soft, sweet flesh makes it easy to consume in large quantities, and its natural sugars are rapidly absorbed into the bloodstream, causing dramatic spikes in blood glucose levels. For mature adults whose insulin sensitivity has declined with age, these repeated glucose spikes can lead to chronic inflammation, reduced circulation to the extremities, and progressive muscle weakness in the legs. Many individuals report experiencing increased fatigue, leg heaviness, and joint stiffness after consuming papaya regularly. The latex content in papaya, particularly in less ripe fruits, can also trigger allergic reactions and inflammatory responses in sensitive individuals. These reactions can manifest as increased joint pain, muscle aches, and general inflammatory symptoms that make leg movement more uncomfortable and challenging. Perhaps one of the most surprising additions to our list is the nutrient-dense avocado. Yes, you read that correctly. While avocado is technically a fruit and is celebrated for its healthy fats and numerous nutritional benefits, it can be problematic for some individuals over 55 who are dealing with specific types of leg pain and mobility issues. The concern with avocado lies not in its fat content, but in its natural tyramine levels. Tyramine is a compound that can trigger inflammatory responses in sensitive individuals, particularly those who are taking certain medications or who have compromised liver function. For mature adults who are already dealing with circulation issues or inflammatory conditions affecting their legs, the tyramine in avocados can exacerbate existing problems, leading to increased joint stiffness, muscle aches, and reduced mobility. Additionally, while avocados' fats are generally considered healthy, consuming large quantities can contribute to digestive issues in individuals with compromised digestive function, leading to systemic inflammation that can affect joint health and muscle function. The caloric density of avocados is another consideration for mature adults who may be less active due to leg pain or mobility issues. Consuming regular servings of avocado without adjusting other caloric intake can contribute to weight gain, which places additional stress on already compromised leg joints and can exacerbate existing pain and mobility limitations. Now, after learning about these potentially problematic fruits, you might be wondering what you can eat instead to support your leg health and overall mobility. The good news is that there are several fruits that can actually help reduce inflammation, support healthy circulation, and contribute to stronger, more comfortable legs. Tart cherries, for example, contain natural compounds that help reduce uric acid levels and decrease inflammation in joints. Consuming a small serving of tart cherries or unsweetened tart cherry juice can help alleviate some of the joint pain and stiffness that makes walking and daily activities more challenging. Blueberries, when consumed in moderation, are another excellent choice for mature adults dealing with leg pain and mobility issues. These small berries are packed with antioxidants that help reduce inflammation throughout the body, and their lower sugar content makes them less likely to cause the blood glucose spikes that can contribute to inflammatory responses. The key is moderation. A small handful of blueberries can provide anti-inflammatory benefits without overwhelming your system with natural sugars. Fresh cranberries, though quite tart on their own, are another beneficial option when consumed without added sugars. These berries contain compounds that help reduce inflammation and support healthy circulation, both of which are crucial for maintaining leg strength and mobility as we age. You can incorporate small amounts of fresh cranberries into salads or consume them as unsweetened cranberry juice diluted with water. The most important thing to remember as we conclude our discussion is that making dietary changes to support your leg health doesn't require dramatic, overwhelming modifications to your eating habits. Small, strategic adjustments, like reducing your consumption of the problematic fruits we've discussed and incorporating more anti-inflammatory options, can have a significant impact on how your legs feel and function on a daily basis. Your journey toward better leg health and improved mobility is deeply personal, and I want you to know that every step you take toward understanding your body's unique needs is valuable and meaningful. The frustration you felt when your legs don't cooperate, the disappointment when activities you once enjoyed become difficult, and the concern about maintaining your independence as you age. These feelings are valid, and addressing them through informed dietary choices represents real empowerment and self-advocacy. I genuinely want to hear about your journey and your experiences with the information we've shared today. Have you identified any fruits that might be contributing to your leg discomfort? Are you excited to try some of the anti-inflammatory alternatives we've discussed? Most importantly, how are you feeling about taking control of this aspect of your health? Your story matters, and sharing it could provide encouragement and insight for others who are walking a similar path. Please take a moment to share your thoughts, experiences, or questions in the comments below. Our community thrives when we support each other with honest, helpful sharing. If this information has opened your eyes to new possibilities for managing your leg health, I'd be honored if you'd subscribe to our channel and join our growing community of individuals who are committed to aging with strength, wisdom, and vitality. We're here to provide you with practical, science-based information that can make a real difference in your daily comfort and long-term health. And your engagement and feedback help us create content that truly serves your needs and interests.